What is it?
Ground shake, I suppose.
The Pup King actually did it. He invaded us. With a full damned army. Where did he get that? No, don't get up. I must insist.
King Vasil of Ralie, you speak the same language, use the same currency, and the same script.
Pray to the same gods. For practical purposes, we are one people. This will reinforce that.
From this day forward, the Kingdom of Ralie no longer exists. The province of Ralie is now part of the Kingdom of Russelent. In this way, you will retain a new title, Lord Protector of the Realm of Ralie the Province, and keep much of the authority you currently have.
And so before Luther I's 21st birthday, he conquered his first kingdom, the small kingdom of Ralie. King Vasily was correct. The walled city of Ristal held out for 5 months. When they surrendered, Luther gave the royals good terms. Luther was advised to pay modest trust funds to the last royal households of Ralie. It was a good precedent and gave him a reasonable reputation. This fair reputation would help him in his goal to be the first king to unify the 6 kingdoms of the island of Russelent. King Luther I continues his quest to unify the 6 Russelent island kingdoms into one. As the kingdom of Ralie falls, Luther I next invades Jenot, the kingdom south of Ralie. The battles were equally met. Neither side seemed to win, but the bloodshed and suffering was great. The Jenot had rarely known the strife of war, and its royal household was less ambitious than Luther. Their king Severus II negotiated peace with Luther. He traded his crown for a provincial scepter and peace. The peace included a generous trust fund for each of the deposed royals, which would last for generations. During the 8-month bloody war for Jenot, not one castle had fallen to Luther, yet he won the war. 2 kingdoms had fallen to Luther when he turned his attention to the strange established Kingdom of Forlorne. The king and the table of Forlorne princes resisted heartily, and only a handful of towns and 2 remote castles fell in the first year. Luther offered the trust fund bribe, which had been successful elsewhere, but with poor translations they misunderstood.
This one here thinks I am trying to buy his daughters, and I think those ones agree with the idea.
One of his generals tortured a merchant who confessed the secret to the never-ending food supply. There existed a series of underground tunnels and lighted chambers in which food was both grown and smuggled. When Luther heard this, he rushed back and used those same tunnels to surprise all 5 of the remaining cities. All of the cities fell except the capital. Luther possessed all of Forlorne except the capital, and now left Forlorne for good. All of the cities fell except the capital, Shorn. Luther possessed all of Forlorne except the capital, and now left Forlorne for good. While Luther's general continued the siege of Shorn, he turned south to Onzol, a decision that almost cost him his life. Onzol was a small kingdom on the southern coast. They too spoke a strange tongue and had strange customs. Luther felt this would be an easy conquest, and at first much of Onzol fell to him quickly. Luther's navy deposited thousands of warriors on the rocky, rain-driven country and overwhelmed the locals. The surprise was so great that most towns simply surrendered or fled. It looked like the whole kingdom would fall within 6 months. But just then, when the Onzol seemed defeated, the Onzol princes launched a massive surprise counterattack.
My king! Awake!
Good God, man, what?
We are under attack and the navy is burning and 2 messengers are here.
My king, the camp is breached, and most of our garrisons are being attacked as we are.
As the king left his tent, he was almost run down by Onzol horsemen brandishing swords. The entire war could have ended there had Luther not decided to sleep in an unmarked tent in common clothes. Then there was a searing pain behind his eyes, and he tasted blood in his mouth and could see and think no more. When King Luther regained consciousness, the battle had been over for hours, and all around him lay dead. He was lucky to be alive and headed to the nearest forest to hide and keep it that way. Luther bathed in a stream, cleaning his wounds, and foraged for food with no luck, so he kept walking further from the battlefield. Luther slept in a bed of leaves and awoke the next day from hunger.
Shit, rocky country of Onzol. Not a berry or fruit to eat anywhere.
When Luther finally left the forest, he came to a farmhouse. He got rid of his army clothes. Luther walked further and found a group of men working in a field, digging and planting seeds for crops. The West. Luther pretended to be a deaf mute and gestured that he would work digging in exchange for food. After dinner, Luther slept in the hay, as the other workers did next to the animals. Luther awoke to a pig sniffing him. He grabbed the leftover food from the stew and threw it in a sack and left before the others woke up. Luther walked more than 20 miles to see if his fleet had survived at the nearest port. When Luther arrived in the port town, he stopped dead in his tracks. The sight of his destroyed ships made his heart sink. After several days, Luther arrived barefoot at Fort Tree Haven, the last Russelent fort in Onzol.
Halt, you stupid Onzol bugger! Where the fuck do you think you're going?
So what?
Yeah, and I have a prick cousin named Luther, and I wouldn't let either of you in. Fuck off before you get hurt. I am King Luther, first of my name of the House Longtread, son of Gunther II, King of Russelent.
My king!
Luther marched home, raised another army, and marched down to the neighboring Kingdom of Sertent. The Sertent signed a treaty to be under the Russelent Kingdom and joined in the combined attack on. Sertent fell quickly and permanently this time, and when it did, it was the first time in history the 6 kingdoms had been unified under one King Luther. Luther I had unified the entire island under his rule. He now turned his attention to the great continent to the west.